Hey everyone, so this is my 24-week pregnancy vlog. To be exact, I am 24 weeks and 4 days today. So this video is probably going to be a little bit shorter just because I don't have too much to say. I had more to say last week, and then my next update I should have a little bit more since I have my 25-week doctor's appointment. That's actually on Wednesday, so I'll be able to update about that. The last time I went to my doctor's appointment, he told me that I had not really gained any weight in my first trimester, and then I had started gaining, I think I had gained 10 pounds or something, and so he told me just to since I had gained the 10 pounds, just to kind of be monitoring it now since my appetite's back. And so I weighed myself tonight, and I think I've gained a total of 15 now. I've gained 5 more since my last doctor's visit. And so that's just something that I've kind of been watching. I'm trying to eat a little bit healthier and things like that, and try and exercise and watch my calorie intake, so that way I'm not one of those people that gains 50 pounds during their pregnancy or 80. And if you have, that's fine. I'm really always concerned with my weight and stuff. I'm gonna also be weighing in on my appointment on Wednesday, so I'll be able to see exactly how much I've gained and if they are worried about it at all, or if they think it's fine. I think from here on out I'm only supposed to gain about 1 more pound a week, which would put me about 35 pounds total gained. Basically what's been happening this week is I've noticed reduced baby movement inside. From 20 to 23, even 20, to 23 weeks. I was feeling a lot of movement at night when I would lay down, and you could see my stomach moving up and down. And I tried catching it on camera, but for some reason you just can't see it on camera that well. And so but lately, the last few days, I haven't really noticed that much movement. I posted, because I go on thebump.com and do a community board in there, and I posted in there saying how I was noticing reduced movement, and some of the other bloggers in there were saying how they've noticed that when they're just laying down and kind of more lazy throughout the day, that they feel their baby more, and then the more active they are, the less active the baby is. And I was yeah, that's kind of true for me also, because the last week that I've said that I've noticed reduced movement has been super busy for me. We did the yard sale last weekend, and I've just been busy doing things around the house and doing different holiday activities and stuff. So I haven't been sitting home as much, which may or may not be the reason why I'm feeling less movement, but I am still feeling movement a little bit throughout the day, not as consistently as I was before, but as long as there is some, then I feel that I'm okay. And I do have my doctor's appointment in 3 days, so if I have any questions, I'm just gonna go ahead and ask then. At the yard sale, we did it on a Friday and a Saturday, and we sold all of the old furniture that was in our guest bedroom, and we sold a bunch of clothes and just things so that we fit better in the house. We fit before, but I just it felt more cluttered, and so we just kind of cleared out all of our cupboards and our closets and sold anything that we could, so that way that's just more money for baby when it gets here and less clutter for us. In the yard sale, we made a little bit over $300, which was pretty good considering it was only 2 days and we were just pretty much getting rid of all of our junk and stuff. This weekend I plan on doing a deep cleaning of the house, just to clean out all the cupboards and everything, since we did get rid of a bunch of stuff. And that's the best feeling ever, just knowing that every inch of your house is super clean. So this week my husband's going to be working nights, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night from 9 to 6 in the morning. And so I know I'm going to be home a lot and in the evening, so that will give me something to do, just being able to kind of clean out the house and do things like that in order to get the house ready for when baby comes. And also we're going to be starting the nursery after the holidays, and doing we're ripping out the carpet and putting floorboarding, and gonna put the crib together and do different things like that. So just making sure everything is clean and ready for all of the preparations that are to come is kind of going to be my goal this week. I haven't started my prenatal yoga class yet, but that is something that I still do plan on doing. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I think I'm going to try on Wednesday night. Oh, and something I'm super excited about. I finally scheduled my prenatal massage, and it's going to be this Thursday coming up. I am so excited. I'm going with my mom, and she's going to do a facial. And I've been like telling my husband like every single day, like, I'm going to get my massage Thursday. And he's like, yeah, I know, you told me. But I'm just so excited because my body needs a massage so bad. I just feel sore and like tender like all the time. And just to have someone massaging me professionally for an hour is going to be amazing. Something this week that has really started to get to me is all of the unwarranted like parenting advice from like people that have had kids. And well, advice is great, and like I appreciate like people like saying like, oh, like you should think about this, or if I ask a question and people respond, that's perfectly fine. Like I don't care at all. It's all of the people that I tell my plans to that have like the need to be like, oh, well, that's not going to happen like that or something, or you don't need that. And every pregnancy is different, and this is mine. And so let me like make my own choices. I'm not going to mention anyone specifically, but we were telling someone recently how we're going to be doing Bradley Method classes instead of like Lamaze, because I plan on doing an unmedicated childbirth. I don't want an epidural or anything like that. And just knowing myself, being able to have like some different coping skills and things like that during delivery, since it is my first baby, I just think would be really good for me, because knowing my personality, that's something that I would need. I just couldn't go in and like be like, oh, I can do this all on my own and do it unmedicated for the first time. I would end up like not being able to probably follow through with it. And so just having like those different skills and like listening to other people that have gone through it would help me. And so someone was like, oh, well, you don't need classes. You just listen to the nurses anyways. Like, I didn't do classes. They're too much money. They're too expensive. And it's like, well, that's our choice if we want to do the classes. And I'm happy that you didn't need it when you had your epidural. But I plan on doing it without one. And I think that the classes would be beneficial. And then just like some other things where I've mentioned, my husband and I really don't want any visitors and stuff inside coming to visit in the hospital after the baby's born. We kind of only want immediate family, like like both of our parents and siblings and things like that. And we just don't want like all the aunts and cousins and everyone coming, because the family's pretty large. And I'm one of those people that has the strong belief that you don't take your kids out into public a lot when they're under like 3 months old, and you always need to have hand sanitizer before you touch the baby. If you're coming from the outside, if someone's traveling, I'd want them to change their shirt before they held the child. I know it kind of might seem a little bit obsessive compulsive, but I'm just really into keeping the child healthy and not get sick those first few months, especially since their immune systems aren't fully developed. And so those are just kind of my beliefs. And in addition to that, I've just had a baby. I want to recuperate. And I think that's a really important time for the new family to be able to bond. I just want my husband, me, and the baby to start getting used to each other and the schedule and just have that time together. And so I don't want tons of people coming in and interrupting sleep and just not being able to spend like time with my child. And so I mentioned to someone that I really didn't want any visitors and things, and like they were like, oh, well, you're not even going to stay the night in the hospital. Your insurance doesn't cover all night. Well, number one, it does, because my sister has the same insurance I do, and she stayed over 3 nights in a hospital with her first child, or maybe like 2 nights, but she definitely did. Her second child, she stayed overnight. And this person doesn't even have my health insurance. This person hasn't had a baby in over 24 years. And this person is not in the medical field. So them telling me that I'm not going to be staying the night in the hospital, how do they know? And I was just like, well, it's usually regulation, like within my hospital, that you stay at least 1 night. In some circumstances, of course, you go home the same day, but that's pretty rare, I think. And so just having people be like, oh, well, that's not even going to be an issue, because, well, it might not be an issue, but I'm letting everyone know ahead of time, so if we do have our child, that everyone's not going to be expecting to come to the hospital and hang out and stuff. so that way people are prepared before, and it's not like, oh, we don't want you, it's just something that we've decided way beforehand. And then another thing that happened actually today is I was talking to someone about how I don't believe in, and then just to kind of explain this too, I am also a child development major, and so not only do I have these beliefs, but they also come from my background and knowing different research on these things and stuff. And so I've made like parenting choices that like are my beliefs, and some people think that like I just come up with these things out of nowhere and I have like no reason for them. Well, number one, some of the choices that I make is because I was a child development major. Some are personal preference and some is just my belief system. Every single parent parents their child differently. That's why there's different parenting styles. What works for one might not work for another. So it really bothers me when people would be like, oh, my child didn't like that product, or my child didn't need that. I don't know, just different things like that. And it's like, okay, well, that might be true for your child, but there's another person that I know that's baby did like those products or did do those things. And so for someone to tell me like, oh, well, your child's gonna do this and this and this just because theirs did is really annoying to me. It's like, well, I'll find out for myself what my child likes. I'll find out for myself how I can parent. So something that happened tonight was I was talking to someone about how I personally don't believe in when children get older and they're eating at the dinner table, watching TV during dinner, family dinner time, and when you go out to eat, playing with electronics during dinner and watching movies and stuff. And the minute I said it, someone was like, oh, okay, like, and basically laughed and was like, just wait and see, like, you'll see, like, you're gonna do it, you just don't know yet, just wait. And for me, it was kind of like, okay, well, maybe not everything that I'm saying before I'm have the baby is going to be true. There's some things that I say, oh, I'm not going to do this, and I probably will, and there's things that I say that I will do that I probably won't. And it's not bad if you let your child do those things because that works for you and your family, but for me, that's my belief, and I don't want that to happen. Like, I believe that when you're at family dinner time, conversation should be going. Kids should be listening to their parents talk about different world topics so they're educated about those things. Parents and the children get to know each other better, find out what happened in each other's day. I just feel like it makes like a closer-knit family, and if kids are just watching TV when they're eating, then they're not listening, they're totally focused on something other than conversation. And people are like, when I say I don't want my kids doing those things, they're like, oh my gosh, like, what's the big deal, da da da. Well, I mean, kids in the 60s didn't have electronics when they sat at a dinner table, and they were able to go through dinner just fine, have conversations with families, everything. So why all of a sudden, so many years later, is it like a necessity for kids to be able to have electronics when they're sitting at the dinner table? It's not. And going out to dinner when you're going out with family and kids are sitting there watching TV and playing with video games, okay, maybe it entertains them, maybe it makes them not talk as much, but that's not what I want my kids to be doing. So when someone says like, oh, well, just wait and see. No, it's not well, wait and see. It's not something that I just came up with, that I was like, okay, well, I think that'd be a good idea. I just don't want them to do it. No. Just like I did a controversial parenting video and there's different beliefs for different things. This is like an actual belief that I have, and it's not just something that I want. It's not like, oh, I want my child to not eat ice cream every week. Well, sometimes they're going to have ice cream more than 1 week. That's not necessarily a belief. That's just something that you want. A belief is what you, like, what's ingrained into you, and something that's a parenting choice or a parenting style. Sorry, that's my dogs. And so to me, this is equivalent is like spanking or circumcision or the cried out method or anything like that. I personally do not believe in like electronics, so it's not something that I'm gonna just be like, okay, well, I want to give up on that. No, this is something that's gonna happen. And so I'm getting kind of tired of like all of the unwanted advice from people, and I know it's just only gonna continue after I have the baby, like, oh, you should do this, you should do it this way, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, let me figure it out for myself. If I ask for your advice, please give it to me. If you want to offer it and you want to phrase it as in like, oh, have you tried this or da da da, but don't tell me like, oh, your child's never gonna want to do this because this worked for my child. No, you don't know that. That's just something that's been really, really aggravating me this week, and I'm kind of hoping that that's something that I can like learn to deal with a little bit better, and hopefully find maybe some good comebacks. If you guys have any comebacks to unwanted parenting advice, please let me know. Something that's polite to people to make them not to kind of be quiet about it, but still like respectful at the same time. So that would be really helpful. I guess I will do my baby belly shot. I've started to stick out a little bit more this week, but not too much. Some people have said like, oh, this is the first time I've really been able to notice that you're pregnant, and then other people are like, oh my gosh, how are you 6 months pregnant? Like, you can't even tell, like, I don't even know that you're pregnant. So it's just kind of, I guess, point of view. If you know me and how my body was before, then I guess maybe you would think I was pregnant, but if not, I don't know. I'll let you guys decide. So I'm gonna do my belly shot. This is for 24 weeks. Okay, so here's with my shirt on, the front, and here's from the side. Here's with the shirt up, and the side. So thanks for watching, and I guess that's it for this week. And I will see you guys for my 25-week update. And also I'm going to be doing the reveal of my little baby's name. Okay? So I will see you guys later, and hope you guys have a good week. Bye!